Alright folks, hello and welcome. I was not really planning on doing this, but I was hanging out in a Spartan Spec stream and somebody said that apparently there was a Legacy Last Chance in like 15 minutes, so I decided to sign up for it because I do have a bunch of QPs that I need to use up. And of course I'm playing Esper Vial because this deck is great. Fine hand. We have a double Vial hand. It's a little bit on the slow side, but the fact that we have double Vial is kind of nice. Oh, we're playing against Dredge. Oh, we're so dead now. Whoops. Alright, no Dredgers at least. Very weird that there's no Dredgers. I think I'm gonna main phase Brainstorm here, looking for a land. Sweet, sweet, sweet. I think I'm gonna shuffle one of these. And I think I'd rather wasteland my opponent here instead of playing a second Vial. So we're gonna put this on top. I guess we're gonna put both Recruiters so we are a little bit more insulated against Cabal Therapy. Let's wasteland and pass the turn. I literally just signed up for this, like I didn't post or anything. Oh, okay, so they had it. Didn't even update my title or anything. Literally just fired this up. didn't even have chat open. That's how off guard this has caught me. So there's another Recruiter on top. I'm just gonna have 6 here. Legacy Last Chance with Esper Vial. Not being able to find forces gives my opponent so much time. Still no Dredger though. That's wild. Alright, there we go. Do you think Docile Deluge will ever be legally modern? Nope. 100% not. Definitely not. Thankfully not. Not having been able to find the force is kind of brutal. Only a single Dredge though. Jay Snyder with your what's up? Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold, my friend. I don't think there's any name for them, any reason for them to name Recruiter though, right? Cephalid Illusionist. Oh, they think that I'm on Cephalid Breakfast. That's hilarious. That's great. So I think we're gonna get an Underground Sea here, or Scrub. Underground Sea, we do have the Baron. Okay, so what are we looking for? Peacekeeper? Peacekeeper should win the game, right? Peacekeeper. Boom. Deck yourself. So we're gonna see some vintage. Oh no, we played vintage over the weekend. Yep, I guess a Spellseeker did win the game. Sweet. Remorseful Cleric, rest in peace. Maybe Relic Warrior. He's probably getting one of my favorite cards. In a very weird, non-obvious way, I probably have to say yes. This is gonna be too slow. It's just not gonna be fast enough. I would kind of like to have access to the forces, though. Something like this. I guess that we can cut a wasteland for Plague Engineer. I think Plague Engineer is actually kind of legit. Just naming horror, they can't beat you down. You can also name zombie. It's like okay. We do have force. I kind of nothing to back it up. Better. Yeah. Much better, yeah. We're definitely gonna need some help here. Or for my opponent's hand to be kind of non-functional. That doesn't make a non-functional hand. Just don't have it. Sweet. This is what I was talking about when I said non-functional. Rest in peace. Okay. Two bridges. It's fucked up. Two bridges and double therapy. They have Dredge return too, which is interesting. So we probably have to name Brainstorm here. We have to Brainstorm here, sorry, because they're gonna name Brainstorm 100%. Well, so put this on top, then this on top. So now they're gonna take my Force of Will. And then we're gonna draw Recruiter. cast it, and we can go get... Well, that's pretty sick. All right, so now we're just gonna get Stop Their Engine with our 2-drop, which I don't remember the name. Remorseful Cleric. So it's basically me versus all of these zombos. No, I don't think we have time to chain recruiters there. I think we have to do that and then just hope well we get lucky. So we're looking to draw Soul Herder, another recruiter. If we draw it, yeah, easy game, easy life. So I think that we're gonna be able to. We should be able to beat this. We can also just Peacekeeper. But we're just gonna get Soul Herder going. Seems better. We can. We're not gonna get Peacekeeper now. We're gonna get probably Medley Mage, so we can pitch it to Force if we need to. We could I guess that we can also just Charming Prince. Sure, let's get Charming Prince so we can start regaining the life. And then we're gonna get Peacekeeper on end step and then Violet in. Hardcast Stink Width. You got it. Okay, so this is gonna stay in 3. Then 1, 2. Oh, just these 2. Gain 3 life. Pass the turn. Soul Herder, blink. Yes. I'm gonna get Peacekeeper. Just violating it right now. Does Legacy Dredge not play Curb and Chill? No. So I think I'm gonna blink this, go get Medley Mage. So we can have Force of Will up. That's fine. I don't think there's too much that matters at this point. This seems worth forcing. Just in case there is something that matters. Moat. This is kind of like Moat on steroids. Like nobody can attack. Always no, always yield. Second Vial, classic. So I'm just gonna probably just play Engineer naming Zombie. Next turn we do the same thing. Maybe I should have got another Soul Herder just so we speed this up. And we also get a huge dude in play. Yeah, I should have gotten a Soul Herder here. They're gonna get to Faithless Looting again. It's probably just fine. This card is fun. Fun and interactive Magic. Fun and interactive Magic. Funny enough, though, like we actually have less cards in our deck than our opponent, so that's pretty funny. Dredge, Dread Return. Yeah, all of this is gone now. Ex-Panther Boy, thank you for the follow. Opponent trying to go over their outs at this point. Which maybe they do have some. I guess I didn't update the deck, so well, this is the same list that I played the other day, so it should be in my decks. I guess I have to export it anyway for Legacy. File 08 10 20. So we can make good use of my opponent's tank time. Update cardboard live. File this in. Name zombie. Dudes are now 1/1s. Boom, boom. Play 2. Chess. Nope. Oops, I misclicked there. It's okay. Blink. Now we're gonna get a second Soul Herder, so we can start speeding up this process. All right, my opponent has seen enough. All right, thank you for that, opponent. Starting off with a nice little 1-0 victory over Dredge. Scar, man. Sometimes, sometimes it's just terrible, right? Like you just draw it against, I don't know, like Bant Uro or something, and it's just like, what? Why am I doing this to myself? And then you tutor for it with a very timely top deck of Recruit of the Guard, and you're like, oh, that's why. That's why I put this in my deck. Sweet. We'll be back for round number 2. Alright, folks, welcome to another Legacy stream. This is the Legacy Last Chance Showcase Qualifier. Volcanic Island. Ponders, fine. So we're probably gonna go... I kind of want to bring back a Spaghetti Monster. Well, but you're not going to bring Embercool against... You're not going to be bringing in Embercool against... what's his name, right? Bringing Embercool against the Prowess decks. Choose not to shuffle. Hopefully my opponent is not on... Delver, because a wasteland here would be kind of devastating. Who made Magus a mod? I did. Alright, so it is Delver. I feel like I have to force this so I can untap and play the Strix. We might get dazed here, which would suck, but... The main idea here is to try to make sure that I force my opponent to use their stuff. Yeah, there's the base. So that I can maybe resolve this Baleful Strix. And we're not going to be playing around. To think here. Just don't have another daze. Just be reasonable, opponent. There we go. No second daze is great. Bold Strix. Opponent probably looking for a bolt here. I'll trade. I dare you. I double dare you to attack. I double dare you to attack. Should I mainly Mage Oko or should I... Man, that's tough. I'll block. No attacks. Coward. So they clearly don't have Lightning Bolt, right? Because if they did, they would have clearly just played Bolt and kept doing their stuff. If they have Oko, they can Oko... They're not going to Oko much tricks, they're going to Oko plus. I get slammed to Fairy. We get got by Pierce. I think I'm going to Mage, name Oko, and play Vial. Of course, no attack with the Strix. This is preventing my opponent's attack. Well, I do expect Uro to take over the Pioneer format, right? Like it's obviously better than the rest of the format. Mono Black is pretty solid too, but seems like Uro is just better than everything else that's going on in the format, so... Mono Green is insane. I mean, Mono Green is good. I'm not going to say no to that. Like, Mono Green is obviously good, but I don't know if it's insane. Insane seems like a little bit of an overstatement. It won? Yeah, but the fact that it won does not mean that it's insane. It means that it's good. It won equals insane. Yeah, exactly. That's just not how it works. If you play Modern Stormblood again, what do you get Mariki Gusari shot in the sideboard? No, that card is just not playable. I will never play that card in my sideboard. Ever. Basically under no circumstances at all, ever. Don't have the Bolt. Don't have the Bolt. Delver is fine. Alright, so now give me a land so I can play around Daze. OSTP. Well, that's pretty sick, actually. So I just want to plow the Arcanist. Blue and black. Baleful Strix. Land would be great. Sweet. Just chill here. They shuffle, so they don't know what the top card of the deck is. Excuse me, that is an implication, not an equality. Maybe your pitiful education didn't teach you that. Fair. Sorry, my friend. I was raised in Argentina. We had what we had. Okay, so what are we gonna be doing next? Opponent not finding Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning or the other one. It's kind of a big deal. I love that you have a sit and then you have a sad sit. We have both of them. I think sit is superior. Could up among 3 people, now I need internet porn star. The swings of life. The swings of life, Magus. Mono Green had a good show in the tournament and pretty good results in a few spots besides the first place win. Actually, there was a pretty good variety of decks. Yeah, I know. But that's like right now it's the moment for those things to happen, right? Whenever the format, they didn't shuffle, that's bad for us. Whenever the format finally stabilizes, that's when we're going to probably start seeing some issues. Because that's when we're going to start having when the top decks will rise to the top, and then they will be far and away better than all the other alternatives. How the hell does the name Innovates work? Is it relying on triumphs? Yes, lots of triumphs. Yeah, Fatal Passage is pretty good. There's a lot of duels. You just shock a lot. We actually played a league with a list the other day when I streamed Vintage, just like playing for fun in between rounds. And the list that I was playing was not great, but Teferi being basically the nuts right here. The absolute nutter butters. Just not only bouncing the 4/4, but also just like stopping the Dreadhorde Arcanist. Just absolutely insane. Forcing my opponent to play at sorcery speed. They can't Oko. They just can't do anything. Recast Hoodie Mendrils. If that's their line, then I'm probably okay with this. So I'm just gonna Vial in, Charming Prince, exile Strix to draw a card. Wasteland. Not bad, not bad. Go after the green source, plus here. Attack with Strix. Soul Herder. Gonna blink Strix. This game looks pretty much over right about now. Yeah, opponent agrees. Alright, Delver. We want this, we want this. Gilded Drakes. Puddle's Jailer on the draw is a little bit rough. Love how Wizards chose not to ban anything in Pioneer because nothing had a nominal win rate and the time matching committee which hunted Den for it. Yeah, well, it's more of how can I say it? Like, the reason that the cards were banned is not because of power level reasons, maybe. Even though I think that Inverter was far and away the best deck in the format for what I would see, right? Like, it's not like I played a lot of Pioneer myself. I definitely didn't. But for what I saw, it's not like Inverter was far and away the best deck. But yeah, Wizard sucks at statistics. Well, the problem is that you have the inverter deck, and then you have the person like Canister playing the inverter deck and just like destroying with it because they are extremely good. And then you had a bunch of people that are just like, oh, Canister does well with this deck. Let's fire this up. And then like for every 5 matches that Canister wins, there's like another random person that is just going 0-5. And that like basically now inverter has only a 50% win rate. But it's just like that's just not how it works, right? The problem is like how is the win rate of the deck at the top tiers? So like even statistics, I mean, and that's the problem with statistics. You can make statistics say whatever you want with however you choose to recollect the information. Like you can basically just shape whatever argument you want and just have a way to force the statistics to back up that decision. It's just how statistics work basically. The problem with just looking at win rate was that most of those top tier combos were extremely skill intensive, while priority events just weren't fire on MZO. Yeah, well that's the thing, and that is the difference. That is the difference with this Pioneer ban versus some previous ban in the format. You can have the best format in the world, but if people are just not interested in playing it, then what good does it do? Right? That's just the name of the game. So I like this hand because we get to play around. We get to play around Wasteland very, very nicely. In fact, we kind of want to get Wastelanded. I think I'm gonna keep. Like, if we just draw a single Brainstorm, like. Alright, sick. So I'm just gonna find a basic island here. Ooh. Play Vial. Maybe it gets full. It gets dazed. Maybe it doesn't. Did we win in 1? Yes. Yes, we did. I guess I don't want F6. It gives them too much information for no real win. No real reason. That one is a problem. Plow? No plow. So this is nice because it allows us to play around Wasteland, but at the same time, it's kind of rough. People don't play your product shit and you have to change it even if the customer face is full of whiny. Yeah, exactly. It's just like you're just forced into making that change because like you just cannot work otherwise, right? Chain lightning. Oh no. So next turn we can Violin Gilded Drake. Probably gonna Brainstorm here. It's kind of similar thing with Pauper at the moment. Players like Raptor are running Tron with 80% win rate over lots of leagues, but it doesn't look too dominant because not a lot of people play Tron and inexperienced players drag their win rate down. Yeah, exactly. People play Magic for fun, not to make a living. If it's not fun anymore, why would you play it, right? I know I tapped out of Modern doing Hogak Winter because I can spend my spare time doing... Yeah, exactly. So what I would love to draw here is a... Okay. So I guess I'm gonna name Chain Lightning because it's the one that my opponent can cast if they want to. If they have bold, they have bold. But Synchro is a good example of why this way of thinking doesn't work. If you ban all the combo deck people feel are too powerful, then they like a strategy where that word competitive take over. Yeah, but like that's just the way that the game works. Like there's always gonna be a best deck. That's just a thing. That's always gonna be true. So if you cannot have a best deck, then it makes things really tough. What's up, Jose? If we draw a Titan, we win. Every time. Always looking to draw a Titan. Even when we don't have Titans in our deck. Wasteland right now is not that annoying. Unfortunately, I cannot just like Gilded Drake steal their guy. Like I really wish I could, but I just can't right now. Reason for that, of course, being that now I would be facing 2 3/3s in the air. So I guess I have to steal the Delver. Just to save some damage. It's unfortunate that I cannot block. Would love to block, but it's just too much damage. Okay. Merfolk 1 MTGO of an M. Yeah, the results from that second... The results from that challenge are like the most ridiculous results that I've ever seen in a really, really long time. That is just so silly. And now they have both. They have Chain Lightning and Rev. Yeah, we flooded a little bit too harshly here. We need to draw, like, just business. If we had been able to, like, any of this. This was, we only drew one business spell in all of these draw steps. Everything else was just a land. And that business spell was Meddling Mage, right? It's not like it was... Alright. Man. Those are some really unfortunate draws. Anyway, how do we feel about the one-off rip? I kind of like it, actually. Maybe over the Venser? Just like a random rest in peace? Yeah, I think against Rock, just like the one-off Rest in Peace is fine. I mean, of course, I'm not gonna mulligan towards it or anything like that, you know. But just having access to one-off Rip, it basically means Arcanist is just a 2-mana 1/3, stops Hoodoo Mandrills, stops Goyf. That seems like enough value. Probably more value than Benser. We're going to be able to extract more value from this Rest in Peace than from the Benser. Maybe I should bring in back the Palace Jailer, though? On the play. Over the second Engineer. Many people stopped playing Modern because they hate Tron. Does that mean it would need to get banned? If people stopped playing enough, probably yes. And that's the argument, right? If you have Modern, which is like the most popular format that Magic has, and then people just like events are not fire, Tahopa, thank you for the follow, then you definitely have a problem and you need to address that problem. One lander, probably not great for us. I am going to keep this one though. Just going to bottom. I think that one from Growing Trade, it's okay. Let's get a basic island. One of the main priorities in this matchup is just make sure that you don't Dread or the Arcanist. Make sure your opponent is not able to get value from Wasteland. And on this board state, with my opponent having no graveyard, and I'm just going for the tempo play. So right now I'm gonna name Arcanist, and if they don't answer the Meddling Mage, I'm forcing them to answer the Meddling Mage basically first of all. And if they don't answer it, later I can use Charming Prince to reset this Meddling Mage, and then we can name probably Lightning Bolt. Magic is a for-profit game. Keeping the majority of the player base happy and buying as much as possible is the goal. Yeah, exactly. They just do not shuffle, so whatever they have is probably good. Nice Wasteland. Playing around days. So if they want to counter this, you actually need to force it. Very nice. Competitive player, so the goal in my opinion is to create a balanced game. Yeah, but your goal is not Wizard's goal. Wait, what? Dismember? Wild. Look at that nice next level play, naming Arcanist with Meddling Mage. Did that pay off? Okay, so this time they did shuffle. So Plow is probably our best top deck. I think I'm just gonna play double Charming Prince here. Just to have more blockers so my opponent cannot freely attack with the Dread Horde without trading. They just split the format into competitive modern and pony modern. That's hilarious. Between modern and mindern. Right. Exile this. Gonna get Tundra. Play Charming Prince. And I think we're going to, if this resolves, maybe they do have the ace on the draw too. It's not very likely, but I think I'm gonna scry to. Ooh. I kind of want both of these, right? Yeah, I kind of want both of these. So it doesn't matter the order because we're going to draw from the Baleful Strix and then we're going to draw for draw step. So the order in which we draw them doesn't really matter. If they have Lightning Bolt, that kind of sucks because they get to bolt here, then bolt here, which is pretty annoying. I guess bolt or chain lightning, but it has to be either bolt or chain lightning. Like Blue Elemental Blast doesn't really do it because to separate the Titan Vial players from the rest of the population. I mean, Titan Vial did a lot more winning over the weekend than Amulet did, so take that for what you want. They kept win top. This card is so messed up. This card is so messed up. There's the bolt. So they're gonna get back Lightning Bolt here. They're gonna waste me? They might waste me. Yep, they do. Alright, so... Oh, don't have the Rev. Just don't, opponent. Just don't have the Elemental Blast. Because that would be messed up. They don't. Sick. Alright, so now we get to bounce this. And I'm interested in bouncing that because if otherwise they can just like answer the Tef and then the Arcanist continues getting value, which I really don't want to happen. It's kind of nice that we got our basics going. What would be kind of cool to happen is for us to find our own Wasteland. Wasteland could be quite solid here, actually. This is probably the... Putting Mandrills. Alright, so I think I have to brainstorm here, because we can find either another land, which would be good. We can also find Wasteland. I guess Wasteland doesn't really do much right now, but we can find Plow, which would be cool. No Plow. Definitely interested in shuffling here. I think I'm gonna get Baleful Strix. So they're gonna have to answer the Teferi main phase if they want to trigger Arcanist. But if they attack with Hoodie Mandrills, I just let the Teferi go, I think. So they're probably gonna attack just with the Mandrills. We could double block. What if we do this? I think we actually do that. Like, they clearly don't have a Lightning Bolt. Unless they were, like, juvating me super hard. But I think that like, bolting Teferi and just getting value from Dreadhorde is a lot better than... Urgo could be a problem here, but they don't get a green source. They get another red source. Okay. Second Arcanist. Why would they play Indicate no Bolt? They would never play it there. I mean, I think that bolting my Teferi and then attacking with Arcanist so they can ponder / preordain seems some pretty solid value. But then we double block Arcanist. No, because they can flashback the bolt, right? They bolt Teferi, then they attack with Arcanist, flashback the bolt, and they kill my Charming Prince. So... Ugh, these mandrills are getting really annoying. And I understand why my opponent went to time on the previous round. We're 10 minutes ahead of them on clock. So I think Strix is going to trade with mandrills. So they can't cast anything here. So everything's going at Tef. So it's just a matter of, do I want to trade or not? And I think I actually do. Taking it down, yeah. Hudson. Whereas Miami Little Day Monday, I had to use this QP, so I was basically forced to play Legacy. That's Wasteland number 3, which is very annoying, honestly. So they have to have some number of like reps and stuff in hand, I would assume. No, because they would have killed the Tef, I guess, or the Baleful Strix. So I'm thinking whether I want to Mage plus Vial or I want to just play a Recruiter. If I want a Mage plus Vial, though, I have to shuffle one of these Recruiters away, which I'm not too excited about. But I kind of want to go get Palace Jailer here. It's possible that I just won't have time to Vial. So I just want to shuffle that away. Is Jailer better than playing Engineer? I think so, because if they have a bolt, they just bolt the Engineer, and then we are back to square one. Like, my opponent's still getting value from their dudes. So I think that Jailer is better than Engineer. It's only bad if my opponent top decks, I don't know, like they play an Oko here or something. I think they have way more than enough time to win this game. I don't think they're going to time out. I mean, they could time out, maybe. So I think that if they keep one on top, I'm not going to double block. Yeah, they kept one on top. So I guess I'm just gonna single block with the Charming Prince here. Because I'd rather resolve my Jailer, exile one of their dudes, and then make it so they cannot get back the Monarch. They chose to not shuffle the Ponder either. That's really good for them. Gonna go get Baleful Strix. Tundra. They have days? Damn, getting value of days on turn 9. Good for them. Brutal. I think they're gonna get there. I think they're actually gonna get there. Didn't attempt double lock. Yeah, that was on purpose, because if they have bolt, they just blow me out, right? They kill both of my things. And I was not expecting them to double spell. If they don't double spell there... At this time, we are actually kind of forced into doing this. But if they don't double creature there, we can play Palace Jailer, we exile one of them, and then we actually get to... Oh wow, the order blocks wrong. Wish clocks were like this in paper, and the person who took 3/4 of the time actually lost instead of a tie. Yeah. It can be better. Yeah, Ooze is very interesting for sure. Does that do anything? Does this work the way that I want it to? This might just work the way that I want it to. So we play this. We steal their Delver, I think. And then we Palace Jailer, exile the Gilded Drake. Brutal. They have a bolt. Brutal, no. All right. Feels bad, man. Opponent wins with 4 seconds left in their clock. Yeah, exactly. That was my plan. We just steal our own Gilded Drake. Then even if my opponent attacks, like I cannot stop the Hooded Mandrills, but then what happens is we get back our Gilded Drake, which means we get to steal something else. Feels bad, man. Alright. We'll be back for round number 3. See you later. Alright, hello and welcome to round number 3. Currently sitting at 1-1. We're actually getting paired against Lewis. Lewis CBR. Fine hand. You get it to Vial on 1. We also get to play around Wasteland, which is nice. Oops. I imagine Lewis is on some form of Delver. Oh, okay. So I guess that we might actually be playing against Snuka here. Yep, definitely looks like. Boom. They might force this. I think that might be okay. But if they slam Oko, like, I think that it was correct for me to recruiter there, so I can try to go get Oko myself. Because now they play Oko, yeah, and they elk my Vial, and now I'm super far behind, right? Yep. So, good thing that we did that thing. I'm just gonna change recruiters here. Recruiter with guard. Should probably name Snake next turn. Display Engineer. Wasteland is interesting. Maybe they are on standstill? Kinda doubt it. Maybe. Spooky Monkey's deck. Alright. So they could have Snake into Plow. That would be problematic. Snake. I guess Plow into Snake would be the correct order. Alright, they don't have it. Sick. Ha! Ha ha! Ha ha! Good times, good times. Interesting that they didn't do that in response, though, because they could have, I guess, found a Plow and they could have maybe plowed the other Vial or something. Don't know how much that would matter, but. Casually chilling at 21. Boom. Draw card. Start with Brainstorm. Gross. Put these back on top. Shuffle. gonna stifle this? It's okay. In fact, this is actually great if they stifle this, because they could have stifled like an actually relevant trigger here, which would have been like a recruiter trigger or something. So that's not terrible, actually. Vial trigger. I think they have back to basics, so maybe I should have played around that. Blue card would probably be the best draw because it means that my Palagiela just gets to resolve. Blue card, please. Oh, they just conceded. All right. Okay, so this is a new deck actually, which is pretty exciting. It's a new deck that has entered the Legacy format because Pokemoki created it, which is a pretty great player. And it's like Stifle Uro or something. Rest in Peace just blanks Uro, and Remorseful Cleric also does. I guess play Engineers for Snacks are not terrible. Bearing can go, Venser is just better. I think I want to keep Forces. I don't want Gilded Drakes. Don't want Canonist. Just cut more Plows, because Engineer just attacks. Sure. I've never actually played against this deck, so I have no idea what I'm doing, but keep. As long as we find lands, this hand is kind of pure gas, so it's pretty great. Would love to find some lands though. Thank you for that follow, Mr. Syndicated. Sablon Library. Oh, Return to Nature. That's gross. Land. Any land. Sick. I'm planning on forcing Anoko here, so making sure I draw a card so I can dig towards my lands seems more important here. Damn, it's a lot of wastelands. It's kind of a great draw. Please don't have a Stifle. Sweet. Forcing back here, 100%. Because them wanting to fight over this means 100% that they don't have another Return to Nature or something like that. If they do, then we got you baited super hard. I think it's okay. Like, I think that was just a fight worth fighting for. Don't have it, don't do it. Damn it. I guess I could have fetched for another basic with that polluted delta. Oof. That deck is kind of sick, I'm not gonna lie. They have the Bolt too, the Pyroblast. Brutal. So now Arcanist starts taking over. Yeah, I think we're dead now. Think we are dead-sos. Alright, I was not expecting him to have Arcanist and stuff, so I guess that the Plows are gonna need to stay in. Maybe 3 of them. But now the resting pieces become a lot better now that I know that they have Arcanist. Sure. Keep. So I think we're gonna swamp here. And I'm gonna do this main phase because of Stifle. Start with a basic swamp, make sure that we have our mana covered. This is the swamp. They might have Pyro for this Strix. That's okay. Not fighting over this. Not that I can anyway. Should have played the Tundra probably. My opponent has Wasteland, right? And I have a 4-drop in my hand. If my opponent just Wastelands my land, then I actually cannot cast my 4-drop. So I don't think that I know that I'm quote unquote time walking myself, but it's not like I want to play Flicker Wisp on turn 3 anyway, right? Like I'm not getting any value. So thank you for the follow. Over voltage. Main face. Play around Stifle. Pass the turn. They play Daze. Oh, I didn't know that they play Daze. Yeah, no. If they do play Daze, that was definitely a mistake. 100%. All right. It's Jailer time. Boop. We do have to watch out for Snake. But this is working out. This is developing nicely. Let's put it that way. This is developing pretty nicely. I think that's a fair way of putting this. GG says my opponent. GG's Lewis. Well played. All right, that was pretty fun. Palos Jailer is a really cool card, and yeah, sweet. 2-1. Actually, I did never updated the record, so let's do that right now. 2-1, and I will see you for round number 4. Bye bye. All right, hello and welcome to round number 4 of the Legacy Last Chance. We're sitting at 2-1, so we're dead for qualifying for the big event, but it's okay. It's okay. This hand is okay. It's not insane, but when we get to go find a basic island on turn 1, we get to lead it on the play with turn 1 Vial. We can brainstorm if we need to. Pretty cool. Opponent moves to 6. Basic island. Speech and Spell Snare. That's potentially an issue. Well, if they have days, we are super fucked. Land, please. Easy. We might find a fetch off of this, so that's why I'm doing this main phase. Alright, so as long as they don't have Wasteland, then we can continue finding lands. We might be in okay shape. Ugh, they didn't reveal. Yeah, we're super fucked now. Whew. Alright, so if we need to find runner lands. We need to find runner lands now. And they've revealed a days. Oof, alright, we're super fucked now. I guess I'm not going to concede because I want my opponent to show me if they're playing just like blue-red or they're actually playing some other color. I don't think I can win anymore. But I'm just going to try to get some info here. I'm going to assume that they are on Timur. It's not like the cyber thing is that much different anyway. But I'm going to assume that they are on Timur. Okay, so we want the Waste, want the Drakes, and we want the Tef, cut this, Cleric, Rip, Plow. Yeah, that's good. Venser can go. Jailer is fine on the play. And the Forces can go. And one more a cut. Not a great hand, but it's a keep nonetheless. Yeah. Of course, it's Rock Delver. What else would it be? That's actually a good draw. Get a basic island. Because it's something that I can play like without needing any more information. And if they want to play the Wasteland game, this game, we're a lot better set up to play this game this time around. So find an island. Play Charming Prince. Blink my dude. Draw another card. Yeah, we're super good here now. You watching me right now? Nice, Magus. How's it going? So we serve first. I think I'm gonna melee mage name Inoko. Go crowns. Even Oko wouldn't be that much of an issue right now. We're fairly ahead on board. We're not like ridiculously ahead on board or anything, but we're like reasonably ahead on board. And Braid is Strix. Okay. Daze me. Pyroblast. Sick. Combat attack. Just gonna play the rip here. This means their Arcanis don't do anything. They cannot cast Hoodie Mandrills. Goif doesn't do anything either. Nice, so we got a Force there, which is cool. Here we're gonna get like a low value Charming Prince, but I just want to make sure that we are as far away as possible on board by the time Oko comes down, if Oko comes down. These cards are great. So put on top, put on top. It's insane to me that Hoodie Manors is strong enough for Legacy. I mean, it makes sense though, right? And that is the beauty about having so many different formats in Magic, and that's why Magic is such a great game. It's because of this kind of, how can I say, like this kind of like secrets that are, I don't know how to say it, but like you can find cards that are complete nonsense that are actually sick in one format, but they are insane in another one. And the real masters of, you know, the formats are the ones that do have success finding those cards. Rough Tamble. Sure. It's pretty gross, actually. Okay, so one card left. So we're gonna plow there. We're gonna draw Waste here. And I think we have to go get Baleful Strix, so we can again try to get ahead as far as possible here. We might get got by another Pyroblast, but it's like number 3 now, so I'm not imagining that they have too many more of those. So now we might have a problem if they have Oko. Alright, so that's the last card in hand. So I guess now that I know that, I'm just going to plow the Delver. Because, like, if I draw a Soul Herder, I don't want to find myself with nothing to do with it, basically. We get punished if my opponent... Okay. We would have gotten punished if my opponent had exactly drawn, like, an Arcanist or something. That's a good one. Indeed. Indeed. So this on top, this on top. Play Strix. Get Recruiter, pass the turn. Brainstorm's such a good card. So good. Guess I should have found another white source. That's ballsy. Casting the mandrills in the face of the jailer. Ballsy move. Ballsy move. Why are you playing today with Astrolabe on Oko and Uro? It's Monday, I want to be sad. Sorry, Stabs, my bad. Alright, so on the draw now against Delver. So Palace Jailer is going to be a lot worse now. I think we still submit the same. Brutal. The classic no-lander. Alright, I can work with this. What are my thoughts on the Titan Vial deck? I think it's more real than I even give it credit for. I mean, I made the deck, right? And I still didn't take it seriously enough. And somebody else did, and now I'm like, oh, maybe I should be taking it a little bit more seriously, I guess. It's gonna be kind of awkward in terms of for mana, which is like, I always say the same thing. Like the weakest aspect of Esper Vial, not Titan Vial, the weakest aspect of Esper Vial is its mana base, right? Like the mana can be super awkward sometimes. In fact, it often is super awkward. Well, I think I'm gonna slam this vial into a daze. Last modern streamer has switched to Legacy. I mean, there's an event happening that needs Legacy. If it were modern, I would be streaming modern, but it isn't, so I have to stream Legacy. No rod. Okay. I really want to blow up that volcanic island. Feels bad, man. Alright, so I'm gonna find an island here. We're gonna play Baleful Strix. It's not a bad draw at all. Pyroblast. Okay. Alright, this Oko is a problem. Oko coming down an empty board when we are vastly behind. This is a problem. Now we're gonna have to work pretty hard to come back into this game. Having access to the plow is nice, so now we can bolt. Delver. Oh, Always no, always yield. Alright, so 0 cards in hand for opponent. Can we brainstorm into the goods? Well, we kind of did. So we're gonna shuffle this and shuffle the meddling mage, because it doesn't really do much at this point. You'd rather have the land over the second mage? Well, the mage can still name Lightning Bolt, right? I think I have to risk it. Like I'm falling really far behind. Oof, they kept it. Brutal. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Sweet. Tundra. White 2. Bomb. Exile Delver. And now we just have to make sure that they never steal the Monarch from us. Yeah, Jailer is really, really good. So they ponder into Brainstorm. Oh, they were figuring out whether to fetch before or after. I think it is correct to fetch after. Damn, they're contributing hard. Oh yeah. Nice, nice. So I think I'm actually gonna name Rough Tumble here. So is this where I need to name Tumble? Yeah, I have to name Rough. This seems like the way that I lose. Yeah. Because like Lightning Bolt doesn't even do that much anymore. Lightning Bolt doesn't even do that much anymore, so... Rough beats, yeah. Sure. Dread Horde. Yeah, Soul Herder is gonna be pretty solid here. Alright, so we need to make sure that we play this carefully. And make it food. Let's brainstorm first. So we attack with all of them at Oko. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Then we can Recruiter for Strix. They're gonna take 1 free block, probably 4. And then we're gonna have Recruiter. No, but we need to answer the Arcanist. But we can Baron, bounce our Charming Prince after we attack, then play Charming Prince. They exile Palace Jailer. Yeah, I think this is kind of sick, actually. So we definitely need the land on top on my hand. So let's do this. We attack with everything at Oko, but the Recruiter. See what happens. So they take their free block. Now we do this. Drop. Underground Sea, I guess. And I guess Tundra. Blue, blue, and 1. Baron. Bounce my own Charming Prince. Play Charming Prince. Exile Palace Jailer. Palace Jailer returns. We draw a card from Baron. And I guess we just exile the Delver, right? Because it's the thing that if it flips, it can steal my Monarch. But Arcanist plus food just... I guess they could top deck exactly Lightning Bolt. No, but even still, we just double chomp. My opponent says, that's enough, LOL. And they concede. Woo! That was... Woo! That's pretty hot. That was a pretty sick line right there. That was a pretty sick line. Even when my opponent having the turn 2 Uro, turn 3 Oko. Well, I guess it was a turn 4 Oko on an empty board. Turn 4 Oko or on an absolutely empty board. I had nothing going on my side, and I still managed to win this game. How sick is that? How sick is that? Esper Vial is just a sweet deck, man. It's such a sweet deck. Alright, I will be back for the last round of the event. See you later. Alright folks, welcome to the very last round of today's Legacy Last Chance. We're death to be qualified for the Showcase Challenge, but we're playing for some sweet bragging rights plus PPs. Opponent moves to 5. What are they on? Delver, of course. Why wouldn't they be on Delver? Everybody and their mom is on Delver. I think I'm actually gonna force here. Because if they have a wasteland, like, we're actually in trouble. Force of will. Hopefully no second Delver, so we have enough time to... We have enough time to get our game plan going. It's not terrible. f6 there, but sure. So we're gonna get to start playing some Baleful Strixen. Definitely gonna attempt to block here because we have one recruiter that's gonna make sure that we keep the life total high. Yeah, that's good for us. Wasteland is also pretty good for us. So they have Force of Will, and everything else is just unknown. So let's do that. Activate Vial. My opponent has one plan and one plan only. Protect the queen. Yeah. All these balls going at my Strixen is definitely great for me though. I'm actually gonna go up here because Palace Jailer just gets rid of the Delver and ends the game, kind of. I kind of don't want to fetch. Yeah, opponent concedes. Alright, so I guess I only saw blue and red cards, but again, I'm going to assume that I'm playing against Rock Delver. So we're gonna sideboard like we did like 5 times already. This deck is everywhere. Wisdom of becoming pasta when I grow up. That's a nice little life goal, Horny Vegan. That's good stuff. Bread, pasta, mom sit. Anasho with the Twitch Prime sub. So close to the year. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold, Anasho. Hopefully we'll get there next month. I have high hopes. I have high hopes that we're gonna get there next month. This hand has perfect mana, but I don't think I like the double Gilded Drake slow hand. This seems a lot better. I'm gonna keep this, and I think I'm gonna bottom the just bottom the Soul Hurler. Teferi is actually kind of nutty in this matchup. Is Hive Mind viable in Modern Titans still? It's probably worse than other alternatives, honestly. The issue with Hive Mind is that there's no real reason to play it, basically. So the very much not free days is what we have over there. With my opponent effectively time walking themselves. And here I'm gonna pull out the Arcanist, I think. They might have days, but even if they do, it's kind of not the end of the world anyway. Now we get Soul Herder. Next turn we can play Teferi through days. You would Tef. I mean, the thing is that even if I were to Tef, I would probably just be minusing, right? because I don't want my opponent... Like, my opponent's going to have Pyroblasts now. So I don't want this Teferi to trade 1 for 1. I need this Teferi to be a 2 for 1. And if for this Teferi to be a 2 for 1, we kind of need to... We kind of need to minus it, you know? Now I'm going to slam the Tef. Okay, and they didn't have the Pyroblast there, so being able to answer on the stack would have been better. So now I'm going to plus this Teferi, actually. Yeah, this is post-board, Magus. This is post-board. And now knowing that my opponent could have Pyroblasted the Teferi on the stack, which would have been better, obviously, and they didn't. Now that is why I am choosing to now go for this instead. And now we can minus on the Delver. Get some value there. Alright, I think I'm gonna risk a Brainstorm here. Okay, we got there. Sick. Meddling Mage doesn't really do much. Now I have Baron, so we're gonna shuffle away the Meddling Mage. And I'm going to shuffle away the Recruiter. Then we're going to play our land, play a Vial, attack with Recruiter, and Charming Prince, blink the Recruiter, go get probably another Recruiter, honestly. And this shuffles away the top of my deck as well. Very so silly. Is this a Palace Jailer? Yeah, sure. Actually, yeah. We can put ourselves in the same situation that we did on the previous match. Get a 2-drop. We could have gotten a 2-drop, but considering how this game is developing, Boyful. Oh. I just thought of Rough Tumble. Can we beat Rough Tumble? Can we beat Rough Tumble? Well, I mean, I can just not play the Jailer, right? If I don't play the Jailer, our chances of beating Rough Tumble get a lot better. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm just going to Soul Herder and play second Vial. We Soul Herder and we play second Vial. End step, we blink Charming Prince. We blink Charming Prince. Yes. And then Charming Prince blinks Recruiter. And what this does is, if my opponent does have Rough Tumble, first of all, the Soul Herder is now a 3/3, so it doesn't die to it. And second of all, the guy that's coming back on my end step is going to allow me to get Baleful Strix. So next turn we have access to Aether Vial and we can Vial in Baleful Strix at instant speed. So yeah, I think I like this setup a lot. I like this setup a lot. So now next turn, because of that Baleful Strix and this Soul Herder that's going to survive, we actually get to... Now we get to Palace Jailer, we exile this, and then Soul Herder triggers and exiles the Golf as well, which is just game over. I'm going to do the Bolt Soul Herder. Okay. That makes things slightly more awkward, but we're still fine. Are they going after the Tef? think I'm actually going to block here. We take the chomp. They have to either kill the Teferi here or play another creature. Are they going to play another creature? Library. That's not another creature. So now we're going to get to take over the game. So Recruiter comes back. Say yes. Get Charming Prince. Now we untap. Vial goes up. Vial goes up. 2, 3, 4. Jailer. Exile. Boom. Go to combat. Attack. Boom. Vial in Charming Prince. Yes. Exile. Palace Jailer. Wasteland. I think we just blast here. And then Wasteland can destroy one of the red sources? This comes back. Jailer exiles Goifo. Was that a good turn, chat? How do we feel about that turn? Was that good? Rough tumble, that's fine. So we minus on library. Oh, hello. Medley Mage, we're gonna name Sylvan Library. And if they play a creature, we actually just win because we start stealing all of their creatures. Now we're drawing 2 cards a turn to my opponent's 1. Yep. This right here is a lock. So no cool. Creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand. Sure. Unfortunately, this triggers only on your own end step, which is pretty rough. Sure. Should I name Oko here? My opponent says this matchup is horrendous. GG's, I give up. GG's. So we got a name probably Oko here. Oh, my opponent just concedes. All right. You'd name Bolt? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, do we want to actually answer the Oko, or do we want to like keep on locking them up? The thing is that if we name Bolt, they use Oko plus on my Medley Mage, and now they are free to play Bolts anyway. All the same. That was pretty sick. Opponent wasn't having fun anymore. No, I guess they weren't. All right, so we got a nice little 4-1. So it wasn't all lost. We got like 150 play points, and we actually played some pretty sick games of Magic there. Would it have been better EV for us to just play a league? Yes, but I guess that it was just a nice excuse to be playing some Legacy. But yeah, it was fun though. It was fun. Like that's the awesome thing that I like so much about Esper Vial is just like even if you are, I don't know, like losing or stuff, like every single match that you play is just so sick. It's just so much fun, so much play to it and everything. Our only loss was to one of the 4-0s. So T-Bane, thank you for the follow. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this series of games. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you subscribe and you hit that like button as well on YouTube. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.